Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where it happened. Specifically, this. So this is amazing. We managed to sneak through a very tiny hole in their naval defenses and establish this beachhead. Now, we've got some problems here, I'm not gonna lie. Mostly we're not going to have a huge amount of supply up over here. Our supply is not the greatest in the world at this moment. We're working on that, and we're working on fortifying this. For the time being, that's fine. We're just going to look to hold this area. And we should be able to do that without any major issues. We're attempting to attack down here. Honestly, we really shouldn't be doing this. So we're going to tell our units, stop attacking. There we go. We're just going to hold this position, fortify this up, and we'll be ready to strike out from there fairly soon. So up here in Canada, we're currently mostly being attacked over here. Supplies are not the greatest thing in the world. I'm going to unmotorize this hub. Do we have any hubs up here that are currently motorized? Yes, but this one should be. It's at 10 out of 30 right now, so that seems fine. Let's motorize up this hub, and this is currently not connected. So we may want to bring in a railway connection right down like so. And also upgrade this. Okay, so we'll get started on that. That's absolutely fine. Supplies are not fantastic out here, but we just want to continue to slowly press our way through. We are actually making some gain here, potentially, so that seems fine. And of course, this, we're just looking to dig in, and it looks like Britain isn't even really trying to push us out of it. So that's wonderful. We're going to be bringing in tanks fairly soon, but I want to make sure that we have at least another level of supply here before we do that. So we'll give that a couple of month ticks here, I think, is how long that's going to take. And that's absolutely okay. So we've got these infantry divisions. This guy is going to end up going here, while the rest of these are going to go here. Perfect. So that looks reasonably fine for now. Also, once we finish taking Bytown here, I do absolutely expect Canada to capitulate, right? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. So we're going to be within striking distance of it here. That's really solid. We do have units still moving up to the front here, and we're having a bit of a hard time holding this area with our current supply levels. But I'm not too concerned about that. Once we get this railway finished, this supply hub will be connected, and we should be able to supply down here as well without any major issues. So that looks good. And as far as supplies up here go, we may want to consider constructing a supply hub here and running a railway in like that. And then, as long as we've got that, I kind of feel like we should have a railway connection that comes down like this. So we'll just get that all underway. I want to make sure that we are building all of these. Okay, these are not exactly necessary anymore. I'm going to cancel these Ontario constructions. But the rest of that looks fine for now. Nothing too major there. So that looks good. We're going to continue to press in over here. Canada will likely fall reasonably soon, but we're just fortifying up this way. The real question is, when do we expect this naval base to be upgraded? And it actually already is. So I want to come down here. I want to bring in one tank army, only one, and we're going to tell it to frontline right here. And then we're going to pull the Marines out, because the Marines are not really contributing very much here. They are just getting supplies eaten up, right? So that's okay. We're going to remove them from here soon enough. We're probably going to, like, bring them down here, and let's just get rid of their orders. Let's tell them to, like, plan a naval invasion like this or something. This is not very relevant, really, but I just want them out of there for now. So they are going to make their way out, and that looks good. So with them pulling back, we should be absolutely fine here to have our Marines pull back. Our tanks will be here momentarily anyway. And the Marines are leaving. That looks decent. Yeah, they're all out of here. And the tanks are rolling in. Perfect. So obviously, the tanks are going to be more detrimental than the Marines were to our supplies, right? That's obviously going to be the case, but our tanks have arrived at the front here, and I want to take a quick look at what this is looking like. So I do think that we should motorize this guy, taking some of the strain off of Inverness here. But this is going to be kind of grim no matter how we slice it. Now, I'm wondering, this is not caused by railway, right? Right. Not caused by railway at all. But I do want to upgrade that regardless. This is caused by lack of throughput through these naval bases. Okay. Well, we could definitely start to push out here at this point, and I'm going to tell these tanks that they want to offensive line, just like right here. I'm not going to take Edinburgh yet. We're just going to position about here and get ourselves a nice little choke point, is the idea. So what's that fill-in look like? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and start that, and we'll see how successful we are. We know that supplies are going to be a little bit grim, but we are actually doing pretty well on this offensive. Beautiful. So checking in over on Canada here. Did their capital fall? No, it's right here. Okay. Between that and Montreal, I definitely think they would give up. But this will take us a little bit of time here. It looks like they've pushed us back a little bit over this way, which is very rude of them, I might add. But not all that shocking, all things considered. So this is fine. I want to take a quick peek at what we've got going on here. Yeah, we don't have any supply connection at this hub just yet. We'll get there. Looks good. So we are definitely pressing out here. We've actually taken Edinburgh, which is interesting. That's not what I told them to do, but whatever. I guess we'll take it. And what we want to do really badly here is just cut them off here. Specifically, I want to attack there. And get that cut off. Perfect. So with that done, we're going to want to have these guys here. So how do we want to do this? Well, we definitely want to have these guys stack wipe. No doubt about that. Get in here. Stack wipe these. These are eventually, I think, going to stack wipe. There is technically a naval base here, so they do still have some supply flow. That's noted. This line here, I'm going to change their front line because that should be stretching the entire width there. We're going to want to change up these front lines once we've cleaned some of this up. That's the overall concept here. So that's being worked on. And that was definitely some stack wipes there. Excellent. We're going to see a fair number of stack wipes here. Britain at this point probably has very few troops left, to be honest. Do we have any idea how much manpower they have? 400 to 500,000? That is a far cry from what we've got. Okay. So that sounds good. We're continuing to attack on this Canadian front. It's a slow grinding attack, as opposed to the big gains we're currently getting in Scotland. So that sounds great. I want to clean up this backline before we really do anything else out over here, though. So that is indeed the goal. I would actually like you to make your way up here and make sure that you cut off their naval base. Perfect. Just like that. Actually, attacking here is absolutely fine. So that looks good. We're definitely cleaning this up significantly. But we're going to need to do more work over here. Now, we're still going to need to make our way to Ireland, and we'll see how that ends up going. Because there's no actual crossing in Northern Ireland in this game. We're going to need a naval invasion if we have to take on Ireland. We'll see if we have to. I do want one of these units heading up here. Okay. So we're going to stack wipe this area, and I do want... Well, this is going to stack wipe very shortly here. These guys are going to stack wipe eventually as well. And we are absolutely going to continue to push in the south here, but that is not the highest of priorities at this time. So I want you here. I want you two to come up here as well. We need to eliminate this. So we're going to bring in these tanks. That'll be reasonably fine. Okay, 58, 59. It's not perfect. Get in here. We need to continue whittling this down. I want these 3 to be frontlining right here. Okay. They actually just disembarked here and left. So we're going to just go up and take that naval base. That sounds good. We can't go up here. That's fine. We are definitely making gains down this way, even without orders. So that seems reasonably good. Now, to be clear, I think our tanks are on aggressively attack. Yeah, they are. So that's why they're doing that. That makes a lot of sense. Over here in Canada, things are kind of status quo-y. It's not ideal, but it's fine. We should probably call off our close air support, now that I think about it. Yes, we definitely should. I'm going to take them off of Naval Strike. They need to replenish for sure, and we'll just let our close air support build up for the time being. If it's needed later, we'll be glad we did that. So we're still working on this area here, and these guys, I want to make sure that their front line is the entire length here. There we go. That'll do for now. We need to clear up this, but that won't take very much longer. We are currently estimating it'll last for a while, though. But that's fine. These are pocketed, and that's going to go very poorly for them. Beautiful. So no issue whatsoever there. How are our supplies out over this way, I'm wondering? We still don't have any supply connection in Toronto. Noted. And we're kind of pushing through these supply hubs right now. Their capital is a supply hub, so that's noted. Back in Scotland, I'm checking in on the status of this. Okay, these are going to stack wipe, and they're going to stack wipe very quickly. There we go. They're all stack wiped. That is absolute perfection. Now we'll repurpose all of those guys over to the front line. Okay. So, this front line here. It'll take us some time to get troops here, but I want to offensive line all the way to the south of England and Wales here. Just get in there. Fantastic. So we're just going to continually attack here. That is going to be a pretty significant thing. I want to make sure that this hub is going to have good connection. So let's definitely make sure that this railway is fully upgraded. It is not, so let's get going on that. The supply hub hasn't changed over yet, but it will soon enough. So that all looks very, very good. We're up to 8% war support right now. Let's do war propaganda and exhorting heroism. I'm also going to do a region-wide industrial integration, and we're going to put in a military factory wherever we can there. Okay, that looks good. No problem. So, we're going to continue to push in over here, but this is only one tank army. So that should be reasonably fine as far as our tank production goes. What are we at for that? We only need 2,600 modern tanks. Yeah, that looks good. So no problem there. We're going to continue to attack over here in Canada, although it's very status quo-y over here. I would very much like it if this is connected, and it looks like it is now. It is. Okay, so let's go ahead and motorize this hub so that it can help out a little bit. We're still going to have some supply connection issues over here, no doubt about that. But for now, this will do fine. Our supplies are kind of grim over in Canada. Ah, we must have supplies in Edinburgh now. We do. Beautiful. I'm going to unmotorize these up here. That is no longer necessary. And we're going to be operating off of the supply hub in Edinburgh. We definitely need more supplies there. Capturing the Yorkshire Naval Base would be absolutely huge for us. But we're still working on upgrading this railroad over here, so that alone should fix our problem here. No major concerns then. So Scotland in its entirety has fallen at this point, and we're pressing into England. Although this is going to be a little bit grindy. It is definitely going to be a little bit of a grind to get in here, but this is probably mostly due to supply issues and the fact that this is attacking into, well, this is hills here, right? Pretty sure it is. That's fine. For the time being, it's absolutely okay. What do we have for airbase up here? 200? Okay, that's fine. Not too concerned about that. Ah, we've made progress over here. Okay, we haven't taken the Canadian capital yet, but we're definitely encircling it. That looks great. Yeah, we are going to be heavily putting Bytown under siege here. Looks good. Montreal is also right on the front now. So Canada is almost certainly going to capitulate very, very soon. And these are mostly Canadian units here. There are a few British units over here, but I have to assume at this point Britain is far more concerned about, well, this front. It's not going well for Britain, right? There's no doubt about it. Things are not going well for them in the slightest. Now, Canada has capitulated. That was reasonably expected. Okay, I'm just thinking about how we want to proceed here. It's going to be slightly awkward, but capitulations usually are. So I'm going to grab these tank units, and we are going to get rid of this order. We're going to give them a new offensive line, which is just crush everything up here. And they're going to get going on that. I want these guys to immediately launch an attack here, and these guys to immediately launch an attack here. Then we've got some territory down over here, and then we've got this British territory out here, which we actually can't get to, but that's okay. And then we've got this British territory here, and this is apparently Canadian? Okay. Exciting. Well, we're going to launch these attacks, and that's not going to take very long to deal with. At this point, I kind of want to select two of these armored divisions and tell them to come here and get that under control. Cool. So they're probably going to retake a fair amount of territory out over here. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about that. We're going to have a bit of a hard time making our way through this choke point, at least for the time being, but that's okay. At this moment, I'm actually more concerned about cleaning up this Canadian issue. Cool. So yeah, they're going to take a bunch of territory out over this direction. I want to get this dealt with, though. That's mission number 1. Southern Norway, there's a naval invasion. This should not be a problem. Honestly, I'm a little surprised they're still trying that. But okay. Let's have these guys come on over here now. And I want these, as soon as they're done, to come frontline out over here. With the goal being, well, they're going to walk through this first. But then the goal would be that they would offensive line from there just down to here. And they can get going on that. Okay, so they're going to walk in here first, and then they're going to head up this way. That looks reasonably fine. Now, these guys are going to clear up this area and make this all be one unified front, which is the idea here. Montreal has not fallen at this point, and there's this situation out over here, which is fine, to be clear. That's absolutely A-okay. Cool. Checking in over this way, the Norway invasion, there doesn't appear to be a whole lot going on here. They're going to lose this, almost certainly. So that's good. And we have made some small amount of gains here. Okay. Now, we're not fortifying over here because I don't feel like it's, strictly speaking, necessary. We do have this division here, which is going to go here. And we can definitely bring in a second unit of tanks. I don't think that this front is wide enough to merit that at this point. So that seems absolutely fine for right now. Now, these guys should probably be heading in right over here. Cool. It's definitely a bit of a mess down here right now. No doubt about that. I do want this hub, actually this hub, to be motorized, and this hub should be as well. And then we can back off on the motorization over here and over here. Neither of those are, strictly speaking, necessary at this point. Okay, so that's slightly better on the supply front. I imagine the U.S. is very, very not happy about what's going on in their northern border right now. But, I mean, they're not doing anything about it, so it sounds good. They're probably not very happy about what's going on the British Isles right now either, or just in the world in general. They're probably not very happy about this because, yeah, this isn't looking good. This isn't looking good at all. For them, at least. So that seems absolutely fine. We're going to press in over this way. And that's some stack wipes there. There's another naval invasion being attempted in southern Norway, which is mildly remarkable. I mean, they have landed here. And we're going to head over there and deal with them. So in we go, in theory. Eventually our troops will arrive here. There we go. Again, I'm a little surprised that they're still trying those naval invasions. I guess they're just Hail Marys. Like, what else are they going to be, right? So we're going to head in over here and take this British territory. It seems to be pretty undefended. I would like to grab these 5 tank units and tell them, you better get over here and deal with this situation. We're going to be taking all of this territory as soon as we get there. So they're going to head on over. It'll take them some amount of time to get there, but that's absolutely fine. So we're just cleaning up North America here. No major issue. This is in northern South America. Ah, Canada launched this, huh? I see. Well, we'll have to send some forces in. But they're not really capable of doing anything here. They have very few supplies, as is. So Canada is still trying to do naval invasions down here after capitulation, which is hilarious. We're just going to wipe out this last little bit of Canadian resistance over here. And that seems absolutely fine. There's definitely some Canadian resistance going on here. But we're going to get them knocked back fairly quickly. So we're just going to do something like this. There's very little that they can do about this. Cool. So Canada is going to get stack wiped here, definitely. And we're working on getting them pushed back over this way. Looks like they've tried to land additional forces here. These guys are going to be repositioning down here very shortly, and we just have these guys up here cleaning this up. That seems absolutely a-okay. So I want to make sure that we are... Well, actually, we can't, can we? Well, we might be able to have one unit come out here. And then I just want to make sure that you're coming out over here. Okay. Looks good. So we have tanks down over here. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of supplies over here. I'm going to motorize this hub. We'll demotorize these two. This area is cleaned up, and we're going to get what we can out over here, but it doesn't reach very far, right? Supplies are going to be grim out over in this area. And they have a fair number of forces out here. So that seems okay. We're shifting our forces over. We really don't need 24 divisions here. I want to select everyone except these and tell them, get over here. There we go. That'll be better. So this is all going to be handled quite quickly. We're continuing to push through, like, Northumbria over here, and that looks good. We're seeing reasonably solid gains here. Have we captured a supply hub around this way? Actually, there's this naval base, and that alone is huge. So we're going to motorize that up. We're still heavily relying on Edinburgh, and that's fine. What's the naval base over here? That is not under our control yet, but it's very, very close. It's a level 9 naval base, so that would be great. We're just going to continue pressing through here. There's very little they can do about this. They're just kind of screwed. But we're not pushing super quickly because this is a pretty narrow area, right? And we can't really devote huge numbers of forces to this. I mean, we could, but it would be bad supplies-wise. But that all looks absolutely fine. Okay, so they're continuing to push us back over this way. But our units are going to arrive here shortly, and we're going to start pushing them back very, very soon. So that looks good. You're heading there. You guys are all heading there. Looks great. A southern Norway naval invasion is going to be not happening. So that all looks good. We're continuing to make solid gains in England here. I think we may have just taken York. Yes, we did. Is that a supply hub? Yes, it is. Fantastic. We definitely need a supply hub down here. This railway is going to take a while to change over, and we're probably going to want to upgrade it anyway. Speaking of which, it looks like there's definitely some railway upgrades to be done back over here. For sure. We're going to want to upgrade this to a level 5 and this to a level 5. Definitely. Both of those are going to be wanted. This railway is still 7 days at this point. Ooh, that's a really solid pocket. I love it. Get in there. Eliminate that pocket. Okay, they de-pocketed it. That's rude. I think we re-pocketed it, though. Yes, we did. Fantastic. So continue to stack wipe this pocket. Yeah, we're definitely seeing those wipes happening. I love it. There's a naval invasion up in Scotland. That's rude. But we can send forces over to it. It's not a big deal. They're trying to, like, cut off our backline, but it doesn't really do anything, right? So these guys are up over here, and I'm going to just send... Yeah, that's interesting choices. I'm going to just send these guys up here. Just only 2 divisions right now? I thought that that was 3. Let's send these 4 up here. And they're going to kick them out of Scotland. We didn't have anyone up there defending that, so that is absolutely understood. We've got plenty of naval bases out over here, though, so they're not going to get too much there. But they are going to get some of the areas that we fortified, which is going to be somewhat obnoxious. Naval invading their own territory behind our naval invasion is definitely a move. Okay, there are now 12 divisions assigned to this. That's probably for the best, to be honest. We're going to continue to push in here. Our tanks should be capable of dealing with their marines, as long as they aren't able to reinforce it in any significant time. A nuke going off in Bristol seems fine, and we're continuing to push through here, even with only 18 tanks on the offensive. This is crumbling at this point. London just fell. The war is over. So that happened. We are going to take literally everything. It's going to be a lot. This is going to be a heck of a world tension. We are taking literally all of the things. So our score is currently minus here, and we're going to have to only take some sections of Great Britain. Noted. We're not going to be able to take it all on this round. Okay. So how much do we have left? 715. We're going to continue to move through here. We've got 196. Yeah, we'll just do something like this. So we'll submit those demands. Okay, and now we've got 44, 45. Perfect. So we're going to select all of Britain, and then Hanover, Hohenzollern, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Jaisalmer, Jodhpur, Cooch, Mewar, Mosquito Kingdom, Messina. Yup, this is all stuff that we are taking. All of Prussia. We can't get all of British Raj here, but we can get a good chunk of it. So we're going to get all of this that we can. And yeah, look at this world tension. That is not shocking, and we're going to submit those demands. There we go, and now we can continue. Now, some of our allies might have taken a little bit of territory, to be clear. And that's okay. As long as it's within our faction, that's basically all we care about. So Serbia, Holstein, Western Australia, Württemberg, Brunswick, British Congo, and British East Africa. We'll submit those demands. Contested demands take state Montenegro. Who is this? The Ottoman Empire? They didn't really do anything other than allow us access. We're going to demand it. Actually, we can forfeit it. That's reasonably fine. This isn't doing anything. Okay. Oh, I need to select it. We can demand it for war score here. Sure, done. So we'll submit those demands. Did we get Serbia here? Yes. This is still a contested demand here. We're going to demand that. All contested demands have been resolved. Submit those demands. Now there's nothing left to do, so we confirm and exit. Fantastic. This is going to maybe take a little bit to calculate. Yes, it's claiming that the war is over. We're not done yet, though. So we still need to continue. We took a lot of states, and we've got a lot of work to do. Dangerous naval invasions. We're not at war. Okay. Maybe we are. Hey, no, we're not. The European Association apparently still exists, but awkwardness ensues. We've got a lot of work yet to do here, to be clear. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kintogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.